with the most powerful name in local news. This is Fox 6 News Saturday.
I lost my freedom for a while, but I never lost faith.
Former Governor Don Siegelman is home after a 9-month trip to prison. We'll get his reaction.
Well, we've got a lot of fog out there this morning, and how about some rain on this Saturday? A look at the prospects in my weekend forecast for your hometown.
And this is it. It's Fox 6 Helping Schools Day. We're ready to make a difference in 4 Jefferson County schools. Grab your tools. I'll see you in a live report.
Good Saturday morning, everyone. It is Saturday, March 29th. I'm Emily Luxon in for Tiffany Bittner here along with meteorologist Fred Hunter. Thank you so much for joining us. And let's check in with Fred. What is the latest for the weather for Fox 6 Helping Schools?
Well, you know, it's really not looking that bad. It looks as if the rain chances are pretty good this afternoon, but of course we'll get most of the work done this morning. So the moral of the story is get out there and bright and early and let's get the job done. Let's look at storm warning radar. First of all, we'll show you where the rain is the heaviest, and that's in northeast Alabama. We are expecting the rain to generally increase as we go through the afternoon hours at least, but our rain chances not that impressive as we go through the morning. So here's the forecast for today. 71 degrees for an afternoon high, and then the rain chances really continue through the evening hours. What we do want to show you, this, folks, is not a mistake. This is the downtown junction. That's the fog, so we do want to encourage you to come out and help us with our big school project for today, the Fox 6 Helping Schools, but please, please drive carefully. Emily, there's a lot of fog out there this morning.
All right, Fred, thank you. After 9 months in federal prison, former Alabama Governor Don Siegelman is back home in Birmingham with his family. Siegelman was released from a Louisiana prison Friday morning after an appeal bond was approved by the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals while his conviction is being appealed. Siegelman had this to say after he made it back to Birmingham.
And while I lost my freedom, I never lost my faith. Each and every day for the last 9 months, I got up and thanked God for my blessings multiple times a day. Anticipate the joy I have for being back with my Alabama family, but you can really never imagine the joy that I have at this moment as I leave to be with my real family, Joseph, Dana, and Lori, and my brother.
Siegelman didn't take any questions from the media after he gave his statement. The former Alabama governor says he will now spend time with his loved ones, and he asked the media to respect his privacy. 20 people, including 16 children, are recovering after a Bryan Elementary field trip ends suddenly when their bus crashed in St. Clair County. The chartered bus was carrying 5th graders on a field trip to Tennessee on Friday. It was a chaotic scene as ambulances pulled into the ER at Children's Hospital, unloading kids on stretchers and in wheelchairs. This morning, only 2 children remain in the hospital, and they're expected to be okay. Police say the accident happened when the 75-year-old bus driver passed out. A teacher grabbed the wheel but couldn't keep the bus from crashing. As Fox 6 News reporter Rhonda Robinson tells us how parents watched in horror.
7:30 Friday morning, an adventure charter bus traveling north on I-59 flips over with 40 Bryan Elementary students and teachers inside.
I was terrified. I thought they were going to die.
The group was on a field trip to Tennessee. One of the parents watched the whole thing unfold.
And when I looked up in my rearview mirror, he hit the left guardrail on the interstate. It swerved like a fishtail kind of off the back end and then into the grass and flipped upside down.
Anthony Wallace remembers crawling out.
And I started going out of the windows, the broken windows.
And Brandon Montgomery escaped with a cut on his finger.
I had to jump over one teacher to get out, and she was on the ground, so I started crying out, and then I started shouting, "Where's my mom?"
Emotions ran high as officers secured the scene and redirected traffic. Students were then taken to the Springville National Guard Armory to meet up with their parents. That's where Scott was reunited with her daughter, Sandy Warren. Both are thankful to have survived such a terrifying experience. Now their attention turns to others who were on the bus.
This other girl got her foot and her leg stuck in the under the bus, and my teacher flew out of the window and broke her leg. She was trying to save us. She did all she could.
And that was Rhonda Robinson reporting. We'll have more reaction from the students and tell you about their heroic efforts coming up in our 8 o'clock hour. Well, it is the big day for Fox 6 Helping Schools. People throughout Jefferson County are helping clean up schools throughout the county. And Fox 6's Sarah Verser is hard at work out at Bottenfield Middle School in Adamsville. Sarah, I guess things are just getting started out there.
That is right, Emily. Before I left the house, I grabbed my tools. I've got work gloves here, I've got a spade, and whatever this little claw thing. It's very helpful anyway in the garden. So it's going to be very helpful this morning. We added it up, and this is 10 years since we first started what was formerly Fox 6 School Cleanup, now Fox 6 Helping Schools. When we started with Birmingham schools. Now we're in Jefferson County schools. And joining me this morning is the superintendent of Jefferson County schools to talk about what this day means for you guys.
Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning,
and,
Dr. Phil Hammond.
What a great morning we have. Temperature is perfect to come out and work. Equipment's lined up. Food's ready. Volunteers are here to welcome other volunteers, so it's going to be another successful day. And again, as always, we are most appreciative of this wonderful partnership we share with Fox 6. So thank you and everyone at the station.
Now, you're going to be making your rounds around to all the 4 schools that we're targeting today.
I don't know if I'm going to make it all 4. I'm going to do my best, but I wanted to come out to Bottenfield this morning. This is a very important school to us, as all our schools are. But I wanted to come here this morning and lend a hand. I've volunteered my wife to come with me this morning, Susie, and she's been very kind to say, let's go out and help a little bit. And I see Mr. Jimmy Pearson, our school group directors, here, so I know we're counting on a lot of people here today. And again, Sarah, you and I have had this conversation before. As much as the work that goes on, a very important part of this is having people who otherwise might not come onto our campuses to come and get a feel for what's happening in our schools and meet our teachers, meet our administrators. So it really is always a success. And again, Fox 6 is so important to make this happen.
Dr. Hammonds, thank you, Susie, for coming along with your husband. Dr. Hammonds, before we go, we do want to get an update on that awful crash that happened with Jefferson County schools yesterday.
Well, as you know in your audience, yesterday was a very tough day for our school system. A number of people rallied around a most difficult situation to help out. Late yesterday afternoon, one of our students and a teacher who had undergone surgery were out of surgery. I have not heard an update this morning. Certainly our prayers and thoughts continue to be with those families and those 2 wonderful people. One of the teachers I did speak with yesterday, she had been released and was actually at home and answered the phone when I called. So I know today we'll have people from Bryan Elementary and family members who will be at those 2 hospitals continuing to rally around that teacher and that student. And again, yesterday was a miracle in many ways. It could have been a much, much worse situation. So again, our thanks to everyone who helped. I mentioned to several this morning, we had so many people show up. A resident physician at Children's Hospital heard about it on the radio. He was on his way home living in that area, and he just pulled into the armory and came in and helped as he could. Some of our school nurses showed up. So we're still hopeful that everything will end up perfectly for everyone, but it's going to be another tough few days for everyone. But Bryan Elementary, that's a wonderful family out there, and just a terrific school, and they handled a very difficult situation as well as could be.
All right, Dr. Phil Hammonds, thank you so much for joining us this
Sarah,
morning.
And
again,
all you do to help out our
thank
schools.
you for being a great partner in Fox 6 Helping Schools. Emily, we're expecting a crowd here. We're going to get busy and make improvements at 4 Jefferson County schools. Bottenfield, as you know, is just one of them. Clay Chalkville Middle, West Jefferson Elementary, and there's one more. I can't think of the other one. Oh, I'm in trouble here. Help me out. But anyway, 4 Jefferson County schools being Mount Olive Elementary Schools. Forgive me. Back to you, Emily.
All right, we'll check back with you in a few minutes, Sarah. Thank you. Coming up on Fox 6 News Saturday morning, a newborn is abducted from a hospital, how a woman pulled off the crime, and how she was caught. And the legal battles over a California tiger attack continue, how 2 of the victims are fighting back against the city of San Francisco.